drivers of gender inequality across the world today is what I call when male honor depends on female seclusion. So in communities where men gain status by keeping their wives, daughters, sisters closely at home, then women only weakly respond to economic or political opportunities. And that is where we see very strong male dominance, right across the Middle East, North Africa, and South Asia. So actually, one of the most fascinating advances at the moment comes from Saudi Arabia. From the 2017 MBS, the Crown Prince has been using top-down secularization. So he's been promoting women at work in televisions, in films, in Shahid NBC, which is the state-backed media. And and I can see when I track it in quantitative data, looking at female employment, consumption, leisure, going out to restaurants, boom, women are going out into the public sphere. So this is a great example of how cultural storytelling, movies, music, literature, and stories can drive social change. So, for example, the US hit series Friends has been watched by millions all over the world. And maybe you don't think that's very revolutionary or very feminist, but actually it shows a group of young men and women living their lives as free-thinking individuals, going out, dating, choosing who they like or not, fulfilling their own pleasures, being friends, supporting one another, but not expecting the women to serve the men, not expecting the women to obey the men. So this is watched by millions, and it's fun, it's charismatic, it's funny. So lots of people watch these kind of US TV shows and think, hey, that's the kind of life I want. Now, not everyone is thinking that, not everyone wants that, but yes, US TV has been a pretty powerful driver of gender equality. So one of the major drivers of gender pay gaps in Italy, US, and more widely is that women often specialize in university courses which ultimately pay less. And I take no view on that. Those are people's preferences. Some of it may be biological, some of it may be cultural. But ultimately that's women choosing what makes them happy. They may prefer to work for firms or organizations that are what they see as doing good in the world. And I think one thing that we might say is, do women necessarily have the correct information about which firms do the most good? For example, if we look at technology, pharmaceuticals, biology, some of the most pioneering advances in welfare have come from big pharma, which is often hated and seen as terrible. But it could be that by curing malaria, curing COVID, making massive advances to people's health all over the world, that women can make a massive difference. So yeah, we do see some big gender pay gaps, partly because of those college choices, and perhaps we could change that with more information about what really delivers massive impact for people in the world. So one thing I absolutely love is to read widely. So I think that to understand humanity, we need to harness all the tools in the books. That means history, economics, psychology, archaeology, anthropology. And by looking at all these different perspectives in many different cultures, we can build a sort of 3D jigsaw, sort of iteratively figure out what's going on.